Let me tell you a story.
Welcome to My Skeptical Sister.
I'm Megan, the skeptical one.
I'm Erin, the believer.
Early morning edition.
Yeah, we are sober. We are drinking coffee.
I mean, it's like we have grown up.
We also, listen, I know that we did merch, and I love our merch. I bought this sweatshirt and have worn it one time in my house.
I've never worn mine before.
This morning, I woke up, put on anchovy butter paste hoodie, and guess who comes over to my house wearing anchovy butter paste?
Every time we get together, we tend to wear the exact same thing.
Unless it's a V-neck.
yeah, you draw the line at letting those ladies breathe. That's right.
Yeah, Kevin was like, there's no way you didn't text each other. I'm like, we didn't text each other.
No.
It just happens.
I mean, I wish we had, like when this very first started happening, kept count of how many times
Oh my gosh.
we go out or we meet up and we're wearing the exact same outfit.
I know. My profile picture for you when you call me is still the one where we went to Tim and Chad's party wearing the exact same thing.
The exact
black
same.
T-shirts, jeans with like
Rolled
a little
up.
bottom rolled up a little bit, white flip-flops. What is wrong with us?
Oh, I don't know. We like what each other looks like.
Yeah, but like at the same time. That's what's weird because we have a lot of different clothes.
It is weird.
But we do it on the same day.
Yeah, it's like we're twins.
Yeah.
What if
that's
I'm
so
only
cool.
40?
And not even yet. Watch it.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
Just kidding. It's fine. I'm glad I'm going to age.
Yeah. I can really tell.
It's just as weird. 40 sounds like such an adult. And really, I don't even know because we're a week ahead. This might come out like on my birthday.
Wow. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you. Actually,
old
my birthday's
lady.
on a Tuesday, so it would be the day after. Let's see.
Lordy, Aaron turns 40.
No, just kidding. If you're listening to this on the day it comes out, I still have 1 week and 2 days.
Which means you have 1 week and 2 days to get ready to wish her a happy birthday.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Because I do love that.
You love when people wish you happy birthday?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't like when people sing happy birthday to me.
Oh, okay.
But I freaking love it when people are like, happy birthday. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Thank you. That's so funny. Oh, it's the little things in life.
I know. I don't even know where Ellie is, but I can hear her.
I think she's in your closet.
Go lay down.
I love her little purple bandana. She like matches. We all three match.
Oh my gosh. Well,
Too bad it's morning and I look like shit, or else I'd say, let's take a picture.
she has it on because it's the racing. Louisville's playing
it's
tonight.
Louisville racing today. Hi, Ellie. She's right up in my face. Say hello to everyone. Oh, yeah. They hear you good and loud and good.
Oh, yeah. You
She
just
seems
sounded
to-
like you
Oh,
were
yeah, you sound
Sue
good,
from
Ellie.
Wisconsin.
You sound like you've been better. She's getting better?
Yes.
Oh, good.
She is getting better. Everyone who's concerned, her poop is very solid now.
Ew. Yeah. I think just like us, she's doing better. Would have sufficed.
I let her out yesterday morning
Uh-huh.
and she started barking at something in the trees. And I
Uh-oh.
thought, what? Why are you doing that? You never bark in the morning. She never barks in the morning. And then
Same.
I heard something. Shut up. I heard something in the trees. There was some kind of creature, a
Ooh.
big one, because I could
Ooh.
hear it. And she was barking at it. And then she darted back behind the shed
Uh-huh.
and I heard something squealing. So something.
Oh, Ellie.
I know. Everybody give her shame. We had pity for her last week and now we're shaming her. She did stop when I yelled at her, but I was too afraid to go back there and see what it was.
Okay, so it was in the tree.
Something
guessing
was
it
in
was
the
a
tree
squirrel.
and it sounded bigger than a squirrel.
Ooh.
I know.
And you haven't gone and looked?
No,
You're
I
the
think
weirdest person to me, how your curiosity doesn't just make
Oh my
you go
gosh.
there.
it was 5 a.m. I would have had to put shoes on.
Yeah, I'd have been in it. I'd have been like,
Ugh,
what did you get? What was
no.
big enough to be in the tree?
I think it was 2 separate things because
Okay.
I could still hear it in the tree and it was freaking me out.
Oh, that is weird.
I
See,
know.
again, I'd have to get a flashlight. I'm like, what's up there?
No, if I had been more awake and had had shoes on already, then
Yeah.
maybe I would have. Maybe. It's still a 50% chance.
And I just remembered, like, I think they made a whole saying for this. Curiosity kills the cat.
Yeah.
Like, why am I not dead yet?
I don't know.
Because I get curious about things and I go investigate when
Yeah.
I probably should
Well,
not.
I mean, I never thought it was like a monster. I just thought like
mean-
it was probably a bunny or something back there.
In the tree?
No, it was 2 separate things. Listen to my story.
No, I'm not caring about the bunny. I want to know what was up in the tree.
I'm guessing it was a possum.
Ooh, good guess.
It
good
was
guess.
big. It was
Man.
big enough that I could hear it going back and like I kept looking, but I didn't have my glasses on either. That was another issue.
I just think possums are badasses. Like, they're just so
I think
like,
they're not at all.
fuck around and find out.
They
but then they get
faint.
real scared. I know, but I think it's so funny because they look so scared.
Yeah.
So they really present well.
Yeah.
but then it's all bullshit.
And then they're like, "Oh no, I'm so sorry." It's like me, like getting up for a fight. I'd be like, "Oh yeah, oh you want to go?" And then I'd be like, "Oh, never mind. I'm so sorry. I don't want to do that at all." That I am a possum.
You are. You are a possum reincarnated.
I do feel prettier than a possum most times. Maybe not right this moment.
Sure. No, just your attitude. Like you can talk a lot of shit, but then you ain't gonna back it up.
Which this is a great segue into the fight we almost got in.
I don't think it was a fight. I think. Okay, are we gonna tell this on the podcast, or are we gonna save it for Patreon?
We will save the video that you made for Patreon. But
I wasn't gonna say that we videoed, because what if she listens?
Girl, I need everyone to be here with me in this moment.
Okay.
And we are telling the story as it happened.
Oh my gosh. Okay, first of all, you have to we're wearing the appropriate shirts, anchovy butter paste, because Aaron sends me a text.
This is the night of our Leo Readers Choice Award party.
Yes, we're about to go to this party. I'm like rushing around like crazy. Got off work late, trying to get ready, trying to like bat the kids away from me. I'm like, Mom's got to get focused on myself for a minute. So I'm like trying to get ready, and I get this text. Hey, should I bring ABV? No,
ABP.
ABP. Sorry, it's morning. Should I bring ABP? And I'm thinking, like, I'm not in the right frame of mind. I'm just worried about whatever. I'm thinking that's like the name of a microphone. So I'm thinking, oh, she wants us to like record while we're there? Sure, I don't care. So I'm like, yeah, sure. No, she was talking about anchovy butter paste.
That's
right.
And
so we get in the car, we get there, and she's like, okay, here's your little nibble. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay, here we go. We do it.
Charlie would be very proud of us.
Yes.
Kevin keeps making fun of me because when I told him the story, I kept saying, we took a half of a half. And he's like, just say a quarter. I know, but
I'm not good at math, Kevin.
Like, I know it's a quarter, but I needed you to really focus on the fact that we halved it and then we halved it again.
Really responsible.
Yes.
In that we were not at all. And we took ABP before we went in.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. What if that like turns into a name? like Molly?
That's my goal. Anchovy butter paste.
Yeah.
We have named it.
Yeah, but just like the abbreviation. Yeah, are you on ABP? Oh, anyway. So we take this and there, we're just looking for a light little pick me up.
A little giggly.
Yeah, and listen, no shade towards the Leo. I love, we are so grateful, but that party is always so strange.
It is very strange.
It's like nobody is there to mingle and talk.
Yeah.
And everybody seems mildly pissed off.
Yeah.
Like, so it's weird. I'm like, I don't know.
It is a weird party.
It's supposed to be like a celebration, and you go and it's cool things to look at, but the actual people that go either seem very snotty or very much like pissed because they didn't win. I don't know, but why would they go if they didn't win?
Yeah, I don't know, because you can buy tickets, but why? I'm confused by that.
The whole thing is confusing.
I'm not saying you shouldn't buy tickets. I'm just saying
buy tickets. You get to go and but be happier. To be there.
You get to try number one, like the top choice of a lot of the food places.
Yeah, it's fun. It should be more fun.
It should be more
with
fun.
all of the things that are available there. There's drinks. There's a drag show. The drag show was great. Everybody just seems a little like low key pissy.
Yeah.
Both years that we've been, and I'm like, what is the deal here? I'm like, did you win? Yeah, I did. Like, oh, good for you. Okay, well, I guess that's the end of that conversation.
It's weird how you all did not make this your entire personality like we did.
Exactly. We're here to show up as the winners. I guess we're not being received. Oh, gosh, which leads us to the incident. Okay, so here we are. The night is going on. Of course, you know what our number one goal is. It's to spot our arch nemesis.
Our nemesis.
And we spot her.
Yeah, we did.
Well, first we listened for the names to be called off as the recipients. Like, you don't get to go up and like receive an award or anything. It's just, she just goes up there and reads off all of the names of the people who won.
Yeah, that part's riveting.
And it's the weirdest thing. Like, nobody claps for one another. That's what I mean. It's like everybody's just like, it's stale. At one point, the drag queen that was up there reading off the names of everybody that won, I mean, she's just hilarious because she's like, are you all there? Are you all dead? Like, what happened to the crowd? Because nobody's clapping for one another. And if you clap, you look weird. I'm like, what is this culture? We're all supposed to be here to celebrate one another.
Yeah, it's weird.
Strange. Anyway, just an observation. So anyway, we look, They get called out.
Because they put themselves out for a lot of things.
So I think I figured out what's going on. And I don't hate it. I'm not going to throw shade at this person. I actually am like, okay, this makes a little more sense. So I think, and I might be wrong, but my guess is if you win in the Leo and you sell a product, like whether it's food or it's CBD oil like she does, or anything like that that is actually something you can sell, you get a booth there, either to sell your food or to showcase your food. But it's great advertisement. I mean, you're showcasing your product as the number one winner in Louisville. So that would bring you in a lot of business, one would think.
So you should apply for one or two things that are appropriate for your
category. But if you apply for a lot of them, your chances are a little bit better to win.
Okay, sure.
So now, how she's getting those votes in, that's where I get a little like, are they legitimate votes or do you have like a bot system?
Yeah.
That would not be cool with me. But I get like, okay, you're hustling. I don't mind a hustler. That's great. Get your business out there. So my respect for her went up a couple notches. Like, I think I figured out what you're doing because we listened and nobody clapped when she won inside the venue or inside like where the stage is. And then as we're exiting, we noticed her booth right outside the door.
Yeah, so she wasn't in there to clap for herself because we're the only people who clap for us.
We clap for ourselves. We're there to celebrate.
That's
us.
right. That's right.
I tried to clap for a couple other people, but then it was like looking at me like, why are you clapping for them? I'm like, oh my gosh, everybody, why are you not? Let's celebrate one another. Good grief. Anyway, so that was funny. When they called her name, Erin was like, are you going to cheer for us? I'm like, yeah. And I'm going to record it. She's like, okay, so you're going to cheer even though you're recording it? I'm like, absolutely. And then I was like, ooh, what if like we have a lot of listeners here and we don't even know we have a lot of listeners here and everybody else cheers? She's like, that would be amazing. That did not happen. But I did hear behind us one woohoo when we got called. So I was like, there's somebody in here who listens. Yeah, it was your school secretary.
Yeah, I looked back. I was like, it was Lucas. Thank you, Lucas, for cheering for us.
Thank you so much, Lucas. Thank you for being the only other one. Oh, just such a weird vibe in there. But anyway, so the night goes on. And let me tell you, that ABP hit about 45 minutes into us being there.
Yeah.
We're eating the best cheeseburgers in Louisville, Toasties. I'll give them credit.
Yeah. I went there last night for our date night and it was so good.
So good. The best burgers in Louisville. And I will say that I definitely agree with that.
Yeah.
So we're standing outside. A couple of funny things about this night. At one point, I don't even know what, but we got so tickled. Well, I first got so tickled and you were like, oh, it hasn't hit me, but it's definitely hit you. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is not cool. I was like, either we're going to have to go home or you're going to have to be in the same state that I'm in.
Yeah.
Because I cannot look like the fool by myself. I'm fine to look like a fool with you because then we look like we're having a blast.
Right.
And screw everybody else there who's not having a blast. But if I'm the only one having a blast and you're just standing there staring at me, I'm going to get real paranoid real fast. So I was like, either we got to go, this is our signal, we got to leave, or you're going to have to catch up to me. Luckily you did. But then I started thinking, because our back was turned to everybody, we were kind of like, we were like looking out on this balcony and our back is turned and we're getting so tickled, but we're doing that quiet, like we're trying not to bring attention, Muttley laugh. And so we're not facing anybody. And so then the thought went into my mind, and I could not articulate this to you because I could not stop laughing long enough to tell you this. So I'm going to tell it to you now. The funniest thought of the night in my mind was, what if people can see us and they think we're like sobbing? And then the next thought was, and like we're sobbing because we didn't win. So then I just kept laughing so hard at that thought. And I kept thinking of all the people behind us watching us and our shoulders shaking. And we're like leaning on to each other because we're like laughing so hard that it looked like we're almost consoling one another. And I was like, this would be the funniest place to just sob because you lost the Leo. Oh my gosh. That was the funniest thought.
All right. We got to get to your mean girl moment.
I'm trying. Can you tell I'm trying to not do it because I feel so bad?
I can't wait for it. I'm going. I'm leading this charge.
Lead the story.
On our way out.
No, you're not. Here's what you're going to do. You're not going to bring home the fact that I was actually not being a mean girl.
No, I will. I will bring that up. Okay. So we're like getting ready to go and we have spotted our nemesis. She's at the booth and we're going to have to pass the booth. And Megan turns to me and says, I'm going to tell her about our podcast and see if she'll get in a picture with us. And I said,
I just feel like
absolutely not.
And see, why not?
Because if she listens, she's not going to find it funny that we are so mad at her.
Yeah, but she will, because it's all out of good fun. And it's, well,
For
you aren't.
you.
You aren't. Yeah, you're very bitter. You're salty about it. I think it's hilarious. And it's just out of good-hearted fun. So what I was going to tell her is like, look, we talked some mad shit there for a while. But now after meeting you, I'm sure she was probably a pleasant person. I had a whole speech in my mind prepared.
Yeah.
Now that we've met you.
She was also on Anchovy Butter Paste, so keep that in mind how that speech would have gone.
Oh, I know. It probably would not have gone near as good as what it was in my mind. So the whole speech in my mind, though, was going to bring back to like, but now that we've met you, and of course it's all in good fun, and I'm sorry we talked mad shit, we'd love to like give you some free advertisement. Like I was going to go, I was going to extend it. I think it's time to put it to bed. I get what she's trying to do. She's trying to hustle. I'm like high-fiving a woman out there hustling. You, on the other hand, bitter AF. So who the mean girl in this situation is actually not me, but what's about to happen makes me look like the bitchiest person in this world. So I just like to put that into the record.
Okay, fine. I'll own it. I didn't want to talk to her, not because I wanted to be mean to her, but because I don't want her to have more reason to listen to our podcast and then hear that we have been mean to her.
Yeah, but it's all funny. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, fine. So anyways, I was like, no, please don't. Let's just walk past. And she was like, Megan was like, okay, but I want to get a picture of her.
Well, because I'm like, Birdie wants a picture.
Right. And okay, that's fine. I'm a little bit ahead of you, just like barely. We're walking side by side, but I'm a little bit ahead of you.
I'm so high at this point.
Fully thinking she's going to be cool about it. She is not, you guys. I need you to picture what it looks like when somebody is like... I was
trying to pretend like I was texting and confused about my text message.
Right. Yes. Okay. I walk out. I make eye contact with this woman. And I may be imagining it, but it looked like she maybe recognized me. Like maybe she's looked up who are these people that has beat me now twice.
That are beating me, yeah.
And she like we both smiled, and then she kind of looked like, oh, like a moment of recognition.
Mm-hmm.
And then she looked off to the side and saw you, and then her face got very like
confused.
Very confused. And I was like, well, that is a weird response. So I look at Megan, who I want you to picture, you know, when like there's a fight going on and somebody has their camera out and it's completely vertical and they're staring really hard at their camera. That's what it looked like. It did not look like a casual, oh, I'm just walking past texting.
I so thought I was.
No, it was so blatantly obvious
my gosh.
that she's walking past video, like with the video recording going.
Oh, no.
Walks past.
I'm
okay.
going so slow.
Right. Now,
I was going so slow. Because time stands still on that shit.
Here's some context clues because you need to know this part, too. We were in Butchertown, which is the stinkiest part of Louisville.
Yeah, it's called Butchertown because that's where they butcher all of the meat.
Right. They keep trying to make Butchertown cool, but it stinks. It is
at a certain time of the night.
Yes,
is when they start butchering, and it smells disgusting. It hadn't smelled all night long.
No, it hadn't smelled at this point.
And I forgot we were in Butchertown.
We walked past. We're finally past the booth.
Just barely.
Megan stops recording, looks back at me, which is now directly facing this poor woman, and says, does it stink right here?
Right here. And I like pointed almost at her.
Oh my gosh. My jaw hit the floor and my eyes were like saucers. And I was like, oh my gosh. And in my brain, I'm like, Megan is a bitch. And I did not see that coming. It fully felt like you did it intentionally.
Gosh, so bad.
We walk all the way past now. We're now in the lobby. And she was like, what? I'm like, did you just do that on purpose? Like, are you a bitch? And you were like, what? It stings right here. I was like, we are in Butchertown. Of course it stings right here. And you were like, oh my gosh. Do you think she thinks I was being mean? I'm like, yes. She absolutely thinks you were being so mean.
So mean. Like, I look back and play it back in my head. And I'm like, you are the worst person to walk on this earth, Megan. Like, that was
my gosh,
horrible.
I told Megan, I was like,
gosh.
It is, you know, like in movies where you see the bully high school girl, like the cheerleader, who's like,
The one everybody hates.
Mr. Marcus, look, you can see in the video, I didn't say anything. And then it stopped record. Does it stink right here? Like it was so bitchy.
I know. I even stopped.
You stopped recording.
Okay, so let me explain what happened in my mind. Because I was so high. And my number one goal was to get this picture for Birdie.
Oh,
it was really because I knew everybody'd want to see. So I'm like, try, but I love Birdie. She's like, pics or it didn't happen. I'm like, girl, I tried. And I got the pics, but I feel so bad for it. And poor woman is just standing there doing her thing. Lovely. I'm sure she's the nicest woman in the world. And here I am. First of all, that's ridiculous. I'm a grown ass woman.
Yeah, we look like the sorest winners.
Which is worse. It's
way
not even
worse.
We're the sorest losers. We're the sorest winners. Oh my God, it's horrible. Aaron, you created this. Anyway, so I'm walking by and I'm trying to record and I'm trying to be cool. And I was just like, okay, phew, I got it. So as soon as I stopped recording, that part of the night was done in my mind. I didn't even realize in reference to location where I was. I didn't even realize I was still right next to her booth.
Oh my gosh.
I had no idea. That part of the night was finished. And then I got hit in the face with Butchertown smell. Oh. So I definitely did not mean, if she ever is listening to this, which bless her heart, I don't know why you would. Good grief.
Well, she's if we get selling CBD, which does stink. So it really just felt so targeted.
Oh, it felt so targeted, but it was the Butchertown smell. It smells like death and fertilizer mixed together. It's a bad smell. And it hit me in the face. And it was because that's such a beautiful space.
Yeah.
That it's such a weird smell to all of a sudden be hit in the face with. So as we're walking out, I was like, oh my gosh. Also probably because my high mind is like, if you don't call this out, everybody's going to think this is you smelling like this. So I turned to Aaron, turned to the right. So it looked like I was directly looking at their booth.
I know. It was so mean.
Oh, it was so mean. And I am 502 Hemp. This is my public apology to you. You all smell lovely. It was the Butchertown smell. And I am so sorry. And you'll never believe me. Like, that's the other thing.
Oh, gosh.
If I were her, I would never believe this story because it was so perfectly timed and now it sounds like I'm backpedaling to make myself sound like I'm a good person, and I am. Aaron is the bad person. Aaron has been the one that hates you this whole time, and I have been on your side.
Oh my gosh,
fighting for the little woman.
You have not this whole time. You have not been on her side the whole time.
Okay, not the whole time, but that night I was. That night I really was trying to get you convinced to go up and make peace and befriend her. And give her free advertisement.
And now it will never happen, and I'm okay with
that. Listen, here's what I'd like. Everybody locally in Louisville, please go buy 502 Hemp. Make me feel better. I'm going to buy something from them, and I am so sorry.
I am not, and I'm not okay with bullying, to be fair.
Yeah, me neither. But you're doubling down.
No, I'm just... I don't need it. Mm-hmm. It's not...
I don't need it, but I need a public apology, and I need to somehow sleep at night so that somebody out there doesn't think that I am the worst human being to ever, and then how do you come back from that? I almost even thought the next day, should I email her? But no, that would be going too far.
Yeah.
And I'm just going to say, I'm so sorry, 502 Hemp. I really was not trying to be targeted or hate you, but Birdie, I got that picture. So your Patreon, you get to see it.
Yeah. If you're Patreon, we'll upload the video.
Really, not even because 502 Hemp, just because I can't wait to see how slow motion I'm walking in that video. Ridiculous. Okay, so the more I think about it, the more we just should destroy the evidence of me being horrible. So I don't know if that'll actually go on Patreon because that just it feels a little wrong. The whole thing feels wrong, and I'm so sorry again, 502 Hemp. No worries to you, other than we're just going to give you free advertisement. Please go out there and purchase something from 502 Hemp.
Sure.
Okay. I'm trying. I hope you all can hear that I'm trying. It is story time.
Okay. I'm going to read a story from Birdie.
Ooh, I love a good Birdie story.
I know. I also got a direct message from Birdie that said, hey, I wrote in a story. I think I go pretty hard on Megan at the end. Tell her I still love her.
Girl, you can go. You know I'm tough. I got thick skin.
Megan's a bully, so be as mean as you need to be.
Right. Turns out I deserve it. That's called karma, and I'm here for it.
All right. Karma is a cat. Just kidding. That's a Taylor Swift song reference.
Okay. No idea.
Hey, ladies, how is the spooky season treating you? Well, I hope. So in light of the season, I've got a couple of short, sweet, recent happenings for y'all.
Ooh.
My wife is kind of the Megan of our relationship. She's much nicer in tone.
Yes.
Mind
I love
you.
this.
Wow.
Oh, wait. Hold on, Birdie.
She said at the end of the
yeah,
email.
hold on. For a minute, I thought she's much nicer. I'm like, yes. Oh, I like that. No, I hear what you're saying. You're saying she's a lot nicer than me. Okay, keep going. She probably is. Listen, I'm a bitch. Okay, and
Yeah,
even when I don't
decided.
mean to be.
Oh, do you just want to listen to that song now? I'm a bitch. I'm a lover. I'm a child.
Why do I want to say I'm a giant?
I don't know.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
Oh, clearly. I love that song. She's much nicer in tone, mind you, and she says she doesn't know all there is to know, and is therefore always open to learning and experiencing new things and different viewpoints.
So am I, Birdie.
Yeah, I do feel like you are like that.
Okay, thank you, Erin.
She also says, don't hear hoof prints and think zebras.
Oh, okay. So
like if you hear hooves, it's probably horses, not zebras.
Right. Don't go too far out of the box.
Right. I know that reference from my years of watching Grey's Anatomy. They bring that up a lot.
It's weird.
She has had a spirit, or maybe it was House. I don't know. She's had a spirit following her for over a year.
Yeah, girl, she's not me. Oh, there's that tone you were talking about. I see it, Birdie.
She has had a spirit following her for over a year. But she doesn't have the kind of relationship with it that I have with mine. From time to time, I mention that she should try to talk to her. She always says she does, but the spirit doesn't talk back. I don't think she's like you very much.
No, I don't see really a lot. I know. I'm sure it's all on a spectrum. Yes. I would say I'm further on one side of the spectrum.
Yeah, I think everything is on a
Birdie's
spectrum.
way on the other side of the spectrum.
Right.
And maybe her wife is somewhere in the middle.
Right.
Okay.
Like in the middle and then a little bit on your side more.
A little more
like
towards
one
me than
step
Birdie.
over.
Okay.
She thinks they don't want to talk to her. I think she just hasn't learned to recognize what that feels like yet. I've tried to explain to her, but it's hard to understand until it clicks for you personally. Oh my goodness. Anywho's it.
Anywho's it.
And there's lots of O's in there. Anywho's it. Remember how I've said a bored spirit is a poltergeist? Well, yeah, this last month has been funny/frustrating for our household. Mainly me and Susan. I have been told that, yes, by the spirits, Megan, they use apparition. That's when spirits move or take physical items as a way to let her know that they are here and they want to connect. She thinks they hate her as they are always taking her things. They think it's pretty funny when she reacts. At one point, there was about a week and a half where every single day something that belonged to her specifically would disappear, and we would search for 3 or 4 days for said items before they would show up again.
Oh, that'd be so annoying.
Right? Typically after she asked them directly. Okay. So she's saying, bring this back, and then it shows up again.
Well, then don't wait 3 or 4 days to say it directly. Say it like right afterwards.
Right? After her headlamp went missing on day 3, she said, man, I could really use that headlamp right now. And I immediately heard, look in the Dremel case. Okay, why the fuck would it be there? No, that's stupid. I'm not doing it. So this is all of her internal monologue. Like, I'm not going to look there. But the thought became insistent, almost like someone was shouting it over and over. Dremel case, Dremel case, Dremel case. Okay. I checked it and there it was.
Wow.
This all happened in a span of like a minute. So to her, it was like she said she'd really like the headlamp, and I responded with, found it right away. Now, I'm sure that if this were Megan, she would accuse me of hiding it. But
that's exactly what I was thinking, Birdie. It's like you know me.
But my lovely wife just ranted at the spirits for a good 20 minutes. Yeah, she's not Megan.
Yeah, no, never done that.
The most recent incident of them messing with Susan happened last week. We were in the dining room talking. She was on her way out the back door for a smoke. She had just taken a cigarette out of the case before she started talking. This whole conversation happened in basically the same spots. Her by the back door, which is one corner of the room, me in my corner by my altar as I was getting supplies for an order ready.
I want to know so much more about her altar.
I know.
See, Birdie, I want to know different things and different cultures and different views and why people celebrate or have traditions in different ways. I want to know it all.
That's right. You're open-minded.
I'm very open-minded.
You just don't let it change your views at all.
Not always, but in this specific realm.
Right. You want to hear about it.
I'm so curious, and I want to hear all about it. And please write back in about what that altar was. But just because I've not had anything like this ever happen to me.
Yeah.
I don't go there.
Okay. She gets done telling me what she was saying and looks down at her hand. No cigarette. Whoa, that's weird. She looks at me. Babe, where did my cigarette go? I suggested she must have put it back in the case. She looks, and it's not there. She looks all over the surface of the buffet.
It's like a
counter, like a little island, where the case was lying, but it isn't there. I suggest that it may have fallen out of her hand and rolled under the table. So we look. No cigarette. She rants about how they must have decided they don't like her because that's BS. Fair. Fair, but they've told me that that's not the case. I tried to explain it, but she isn't having it. Also fair. She grabs another cigarette and goes outside to have her smoke. 3 days later, I get home from work. Now, this is Susan saying, my wife. And then I know, she's the cutest. Me, my wife. Susan, well, I found the cigarette. Want to guess where? Me, where? She ushers me to the dining room, and in the corner, diagonally from where she was standing, under the spirit altar, is her cigarette.
Ooh, that's weird.
That is really weird. Now, I know for a fact that I missed some mundane detail here that Megan is going to use to call BS. Oh, that's the best thing I've ever read. No, it was not carbon monoxide. No, we didn't go over there and forgot. No, she didn't chuck it like a linebacker when I wasn't looking. No, we don't have squatters. The animals were outside and she had opened the door and they went potty. The animals
you're
are
doing
outside.
good, Birdie, because you just took about 2 of the 3 that I was going to say. So, okay.
Well, she's not even done. It was not Bigfoot, Megan.
Ah, damn.
Not even a baby one. Cash me outside. How about that? LOL. Love you, spooky, ornery ladies. Always, Birdie.
Oh, Birdie, I love you so much.
That was longer than I thought. You're welcome.
Oh, Birdie. The only thing I would change about you is our distance between each other.
Oh, for sure.
Wouldn't you just love to just sit down and laugh your ass off with Birdie?
Oh, she is so funny. She is so much fun on movie nights with all of her gifts. She's so fast.
She is so quick and witty.
Between her and Melinda,
I know.
They're so funny with those gifts.
Oh, it's great. And here's the thing about Birdie is that, I know she cares about me, and I know that she's also just razzing me.
Yeah.
And I like to razz her back. But that's the beauty of Birdie, is that she also is open-minded, and she does not mind that we don't see eye to eye on things.
Yeah.
And we both have a mutual respect. Well, I'm speaking a lot for her, but I have a respect for Birdie, and I feel that respect received. So,
yeah.
Birdie, love you, girl.
That's right.
But it definitely was not a ghost that took that cigarette out of her. I'm just kidding. I'm
What?
kidding. I don't have an explanation. I'd say that's a UFO, Birdie. Congratulations.
Oh, Birdie. Is that Birdie's first UFO?
I think it might be, because here's my thing. Short of like her mind just being very busy and like forgetting, maybe she like walked past there, but Birdie's saying she saw her staying in that one spot.
Right. They were talking.
They were talking. They were having a conversation. So for 2 people to be that absent-minded, it must be a pretty good conversation.
Right.
But I don't think that that's really what happened. I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Maybe a hellhound.
Yeah.
Happy Halloween. That was for you, Birdie. I'm just going to say a UFO.
Yeah. I say it's definitely a UFO, or it's a ghost. I mean,
or
it's a ghost.
Absent-minded, something happened. But I don't know. I can't really spin it well enough to say exactly what it was, because I was going to blame your animals.
Yeah.
Like one of the animals. And I could say this, even if the animals were outside during this incident, the cigarette could have rolled somewhere.
They later very neatly picked it up and
put it
didn't
on
chew it up. And
I don't know if the altar's on the ground.
It on the altar.
Here's the mundane fact. Here it is. I don't know if the altar is on the ground. I don't know if the altar is up high. I'm not sure where the altar is. If the altar is on the ground, it could be feasible that an animal somehow rolled it, kicked it, picked it up with their mouth, something, and it ends up near the altar.
Okay. Sounds like it was in a different room, but okay.
Okay. Well, I mean, what, dogs don't walk into other rooms?
They just keep kicking it.
A cat? Have you not seen a cat play with something?
Yeah, and it would be destroyed by the time it was done.
Not necessarily.
A cigarette?
A declawed cat?
You don't think all the little tobacco would be out of that little...
Also never said what state the cigarette was in. Anyway, it's a UFO.
It was an unsmoked cigarette. Oh, when she found it.
Yeah.
No, then she'd be like, it was destroyed.
It was a UFO.
Even
Let's
if,
just end on that. Okay. There you go.
I'm just saying, even if she was thinking it was a ghost, but it was destroyed, she would be like, yeah, they destroyed it. They clearly don't want me to smoke. And then you would have a better argument of saying this, but she just found her cigarette. Mm-hmm. I think she would have pointed out. But again, she didn't say it.
Again, it's a UFO. Again, I don't know why we're arguing about it. It's a UFO. Also, I do think it's interesting how her wife's perspective is that they don't like her. But then Birdie's like, no, they do. Is Birdie trying to say like they're prankster ghosts? They kind of think it's funny when she reacts that way?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. That's funny because also though, ghosts, spirits know when to stop if it's really bothering her. But it sounds like she was upbeat at the end, like wife. It sounds like it adds a little like entertainment and some like what in the world. But that would be really annoying to lose important things. Every day.
Right.
But that's kind of the world I feel like I live in now because I'm so old and forgetful.
Maybe you have a spirit.
No, maybe I'm just old and forgetful.
Okay, whatever.
Great story. Thank you, Birdie. Always deliver. Love you, girl. I'm not mad at you at all. That was mild. So today's story that I have for you is from Brandon. If you remember, he was a fan favorite a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
I always think it's funny when people go to our Facebook page and try to post a story on there. I'm like, no, my friends. That's not how this works.
Yeah.
So he started to, and he was giving us a lot of information about just the whole podcast in general, which was great. A lot of feedback. But then he went into a story. So I hurry up and took it down and was like, hey, dude, listen, this is how this works. And he was like, oh, absolutely. Read it on the podcast. I just didn't think it would be good enough. I'm like, I read the first half of it and it's good enough. Trust me. We have a low bar. I'm kidding, Brandon. Your story is great. I don't know, really. I've only read the first
We'll see how it ends.
We'll see. I'll let you know at the end.
It's like that show Teacup you told me to watch. First episode, great. Second episode, kind of lame.
I know. It started getting really weird.
Not that that's going to happen to Brandon's story.
No. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll be the judge at the end.
Speaking of Brandon, before we move into the story, we are now on YouTube, everybody.
Ooh.
What?
Good job. And you didn't even take the help of my 14-year-old stepson.
Nope. I use ChatGPT, which makes me think I can run the world.
Nice.
I got on. I was like, how do I make this public? And I was like, just do this, girl. And I said, can I set it up?
I love the
ChatGPT.
GBPT. What is it? We say it wrong every time.
I say it right every time. ChatGPT.
I love how that calls you girl, like y'all are just best friends.
Yeah, we're
now.
best friends. And I said, can I set up future things to be public? And it said, yeah, I got you. Do this.
Nice. So when this episode comes out, they can find it on YouTube?
Yeah.
Wow. That's great.
Not our video. We do not do that.
Oh, no.
We are not wearing bras.
ChatGPT will not make us look beautiful.
I mean, I bet it could.
You think?
I think ChatGPT can do anything.
Okay, well, whenever it figures that out, we might be on YouTube. No, we won't, because I could still look beautiful, and then I wouldn't be able to like pick my nose during an episode or something.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know. I just don't want to be like
I've never seen you
getting
pick
like
your
one of
nose
those little
during...
side boogers where you just kind of, you're not doing it like your finger up your nose, but I don't care to do that in front of you. But I'm like, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, you're in my bed. That's weird. Okay.
Well, I don't care. You invited me in it. Get what you get. All right, so here we go. Here is Brandon's story that he let us read on the podcast. He starts by saying, great show today. Episode 197 was packed with good stuff. I'm not really into manifesting, but the curses you talked about made me think. I feel like a curse only has power if you believe in it. It's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy where the belief makes it real. Speaking of which, I've got a strange story from my grandfather, one he's told me ever since I was a kid growing up in Puerto Rico. He always told it in the same way, and honestly, it stuck with me. Back when he was a boy, there was no electricity, just dirt roads and long walks to school. One day, he and my uncle were walking home when a small bird started following them, hopping from tree to tree. They thought it was weird, so they stopped to check it out. That's when the bird started speaking to them.
What?
In Spanish.
What?
No less. You keep interrupting me. I think it was supposed to go a little smoother than that. Let me read it without the gasps.
I was really shocked.
That's when the bird started speaking to them in Spanish, no less. It whispered for them to get off the road and get into a field.
It whispered to them?
Could you imagine? That's whispering bird.
Because like some birds.
I can't imagine it. Can you imagine that I can't imagine it?
Some birds can.
Like throw their voices?
Well, they can like
mimic.
Talk. Like even crows can mimic.
Right. Parrots.
Yeah. Parrots and crows. And a lot of birds can do that. But I don't know that they can whisper.
I know. I've never heard a bird whisper.
That is certainly a person trapped in a bird's body.
Clearly.
And we've solved it.
Obviously freaked out, they ran home to tell their parents. Later, they brought my aunt back with them to see if the bird was still there. Sure enough, it was. But this time, it wouldn't talk. It just sat in the field, ignoring them.
It's like that frog cartoon where it sings opera only for that one guy.
Yes, I love that little cartoon. I can picture it with a little top hat.
Yeah. Hello, my darling.
Hello, my...
Yeah.
Okay. Determined to figure it out, they crossed a fence to get closer. But as soon as they stepped into the field, a strong gust of wind came out of nowhere, picked up my uncle, and threw him into a patch of thorns and branches.
What?
He got very banged up. When they got back to the farm and told everyone what had happened, the whole family went out to check. The bird was gone, but the tree it had been in was still there. My great-grandfather warned them to stay away from that tree because, according to him, it was used for sacrifices in Santeria and carried bad energy.
Oh, my gosh.
My uncle, who passed away in his 50s, stuck to this story his whole life. He always insisted that the wind had picked him up and threw him into the thorns. My aunt and grandfather never wavered either. They all told the same story, no matter how many times they were asked.
Wow.
Years later, when I visited the land they grew up on, that tree was the first thing they showed me. By then, it had grown into a huge, flamboyant tree. I don't know what that is. I almost thought it said flamboyant tree.
Yeah.
Flamboyant, Flamboyan, with an accent mark over the A.
Okay.
Which is usually one of my favorite kinds. I want to look it up.
Ooh, it's beautiful.
Mm.
Royal Poinsettia.
Poinsettia?
Nope, there's no T.
Mm.
But it's beautiful.
Ooh, it is beautiful.
This fast-growing deciduous tree develops fern-like foliage and takes on a natural umbrella shape.
Mm.
Its tolerance to poor soils and hard pruning make it an excellent selection for the drier areas of Puerto Rico. And even for bonsai. Flamboyans were planted by the roadside to shade people riding the roads on horseback.
Oh, that's cool. Let me see it.
It's still the same.
Oh, it's the same one?
Yeah, that pretty red tree.
Oh, it's beautiful.
But for some reason, when you look it up and you don't put Puerto Rico in, it doesn't call it that. It calls it a different name. So I don't know.
Probably because that's the Spanish word for it, maybe.
A Puerto Rico icon, it says.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, nice.
So he's seeing this tree, which is one of his favorite kinds, but this one was different. It didn't have the usual bright orange or yellow flowers, just dark green leaves. When I asked my grandfather why he didn't cut it down, he said it wasn't his land, but he had thought about it. That experience, he said, was what turned him into a pastor, and my uncle became deeply religious too. My aunt, though, acknowledged the story, but didn't really go the religious route. I want to know her story. Give me all the tea on that, aunt. It's one of those stories that makes you think about belief, even if you're skeptical. Whether you believe in curses or not, their experience left a mark on them for life.
Wow.
Absolutely. I mean, like, experiences shape your reality. They shape your world.
Yeah, Brandon, that was a perfect story. What are you talking about?
I know.
How dare you try to post that on Facebook?
Yeah, don't put that out there for everybody.
We put that out for everybody.
Yes. You may not have listened long enough to know, Brandon. It looks like we have a lot of followers on Facebook. Half those people don't even listen to the podcast.
A quarter. A quarter of the people listen.
I don't know why. Don't know why they're there.
Look at me throwing out fractions. I know.
Yeah, you do. I'm going to let Kevin know. You said quarter.
Thank you.
Yeah, correctly.
That's right. Yeah, man, that is a wild story.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to hear a whispering bird. Man, I want to know what kind of bird it was because crows will also follow. Like I've seen videos where they're like following. That's my dream is have a crow be my best friend and follow behind me as I walk, like I walk for exercise. But
let us know if they whisper to you.
Right. Man, whispering bird is really weird.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they are two little boys.
Yeah.
So like the skeptical side of me is like when a bird starts doing something like that, for whatever reason, I think it's magical that crows like people and that they'll bring them trinkets and I think that's so neat.
Yeah.
So for a bird that normally they don't see doing something like that to all of a sudden seem like they're following them.
Yeah.
And maybe they are following them for whatever reason. Maybe they had something shiny on them, something that the bird wanted. That would all of a sudden kind of create this mystical feeling. And so as far as like the wind picking him up and throwing him, my questions around that, I guess, because they said they went back and got family members to go look. Did those family members see the wind pick him up and throw him?
I don't know. I think that happened. I think they went and got the family after, didn't they?
No, they went right after they got the bird, and then went back to see the bird.
Then yes, that happened. They all, everybody remembers it that way.
Yeah, I think the aunt says that she remembers that.
It said their stories never wavered.
It says when they went back to the farm, they told the whole family what happened. The whole family went back to check. The bird was gone, but the tree. And then my great-grandfather warned them to stay away from the tree. Oh, so that was after.
It was after the tree wind blowing.
But the aunt was there. Later, they went back to tell everybody. The aunt goes with them to see it. That's when he gets thrown.
Yeah.
So the aunt,
3 kids saw it.
So I think that it's like the only 3 people that were there that saw it happen were 3 children. And I'm not discounting children, what they believe, what they see. All of that is very important. And it does shape their world, even as they grow into adults. So I find it interesting that it's 3 kids that it all happened to. And again, I've said this before, shared memories can morph into kind of a grandiose story. And the more you tell it, the more it gets internalized and the more it becomes your reality. But either way, you're absolutely right. It did shape the way the rest of their lives went. You know, it's like with Mom, you know, she would always tell that story about how all of a sudden everything went white.
Yeah.
And she tells that story as like she felt like it was very divine, like divine intervention happened.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like 8 or 9 walking somewhere. Remember that story?
Yeah, she was on her way to church, home from church.
On her way home from church. And then all of a sudden, everything, she opened her eyes, everything was like white.
She could still see everything, but
she could still see everything, right? And to her, that was a very spiritual, religious moment. To me, I feel like there's probably some sort of scientific something in her brain happened, like some sort of like seizure or something like that happened really quickly that has never been researched what could cause that. But it made a great story and it reconfirmed her belief and it led her down a very religious path in her life. So I do think that it's very interesting to see how experiences can shape you and make you believe in something so undeniably. Like you're like, it's not, I'm unwavering in that. And this bird did that for them. So I think that that's fascinating.
Yeah. I am not a kid and I heard my dog whisper last night.
Oh, okay. Open-minded. Take it all in. Listen to other people's views. Don't scoff, Megan.
I swear
Going back
I heard
to the bitch move. Okay, let's try this again. Oh, tell me more about that, Erin.
Yeah, she was like kind of grunting, like getting in their spot, and I heard her go, "Mom."
Oh.
At first I was like, who said mom? I even said what? And then I looked over and I was like, I think that was Ellie. I think Ellie just called me mom. I don't think she meant to, but it definitely sounded like mom.
Okay, I'll take it. Such a dork. I just heard my dog whisper last night.
I did. I just remembered it while you were telling that story. I was like, wait a minute. I've heard an animal whisper last night.
You've heard an animal make a sound, for sure.
Okay. It was a word. She said mom.
A sound that sounded like the word mom.
In a whisper.
Sure. In a whisper voice.
Get it right or pay the price.
Right. Okay. Brandon, great story. Thank you so much. Birdie, great story.
I know. Great
The
stories.
bees really showed up tonight.
Yeah, way to go. Next week, we want the C's. Come on, C's.
Yeah, if your name starts with a C. Come on, Cassie. Come on, Charlotte.
Look at you. Love it. Okay, before we move on to fan favorite, I have to let everybody know.
Let's do that.
I have some sad news to tell everybody.
Oh, no.
We, and I mean me, I'm not going to meet Devon Sawa.
Oh, yeah.
At least not this time around. Someday our paths may cross, but sadly, Megan had to watch her kids. So I'm not going to the convention. And I also found out that it costs $60, even if you have a media pass, to get an autograph and a hug from the love of my life, Devon Sawa.
Yeah, it's a lot of money.
I do think I did bring it up to Kevin, and he seemed a little bit like, I mean, if you want to go, I guess you can go. But I was like,
so you think he was a little jealous?
I think he was a little jealous. I'm like, if Denise Richardson was going to be at a Comic-Con and she was going to charge $100, I would let you go.
Mm-hmm.
And that's his celebrity. Actually, now I think it's Anna Kendrick. And I don't know if I'd let him go with Anna Kendrick.
She does look a lot like you. Does that make you feel better?
Do you think?
Yeah. I mean, you guys have similar traits.
No, we don't.
I think you do.
I think she's very pointy, but in a pretty way. I'm round in every way.
You could be very pointy. We just are not.
I'm just very padded. I've got
And by you, I mean me too.
I'm like Anna Kendrick in a fat suit. I'm like trying to get out.
Stop, my back hurts. Sorry, my back to laugh.
Oh,
Trying to get out.
Oh, anyways.
Okay.
Just, I could read it in his tone. He was like, "Oh, you are not only going to go meet the love of your life.
You're going to pay $60.
You're going to pay $60 just so you can get a hug. And so he can tell you, can I keep you? It's fine. I mean, the likelihood that we were going to end up making out is so low. It's fine that I'm not going.
Would you have, if it had presented, would you have called Kevin first?
I wouldn't have called him first.
Did you say, hey, look, I really feel like he's feeling me.
Oh.
I think it might go there.
I mean, I just feel like sometimes you have to ask forgiveness instead of permission.
Heard.
No, I wouldn't. Come on. I'm happily married.
That's right. I
mean, it was going to be a really big day for both of my crushes because I was going to see Devin Sawa, and then tonight I'm going to a racing game where I'm going to see Emma Sears. So,
gosh, you would have been charged.
What does she want to make out with me too? What a night.
Wow, that would have been a day. I mean, what were you going to wear that was going to cause all this? Hello.
I don't know, but I'm gonna tame it down because I am married.
You're a family woman.
I'm a family woman, and so
even above this podcast,
for the sake of my marriage, I'm not going to go meet Devin Sawa today.
That's smart because I think that it really would have happened. So
it really could have. It really. I mean, I just don't know.
Right. Anything's possible.
Like I felt the chemistry when I was 11 years old watching that. When I was watching Little Giants for the first time, and then it was only reconfirmed when I saw him as Casper, and I'm sure he would also feel that. And
yes,
I don't want either of us to be in that situation.
No, it's just not right to put him in that situation. I know. You would have made him a cheater by I know. Not good. Good for you.
Putting guilt on him. I really am. So just remember this. Like girl math, I saved us $60. I made us $60.
That's right.
That's not even counting gas and parking.
Right?
And
been at least $100.
I didn't cheat. So next time I can go bigger.
Yes, that is totally girl math. And I like how as soon as you put that together, we talked about going to lunch tomorrow. You're like, oh yeah, I can totally do that tomorrow because I saved us $60
That's right.
today.
Yeah, I made us $60. I can absolutely go to lunch tomorrow. Yeah. So, next time, if anything were to happen, if I meet Devin Sawa in the streets and he just can't, we just can't control ourselves.
Yeah, it's open game.
I would be like, Kevin, remember that time I didn't go and make out with him?
Mm-hmm. Well, this time
it was bound
I didn't
to happen.
Even pay. This time I didn't even pay.
It was bound to happen. It was meant to be, and I'm sorry. So
that tracks.
There we go. There you go.
Too funny.
So sorry, everybody. No Devin Sawa story from me.
That's all right.
Is it? No, it's good. It's good. It's good.
Today's fan favorite is the lovely Diane. I reached out to her a couple of weeks ago. I think that Diane is precious. She finds us on Facebook and is very present there, says a lot of funny things. Of course, when I reached out to her, she said, hi, yay, I'm so sorry for the delayed response. It did take a few minutes, but then she wasn't feeling well. And then she said, but I'll follow up properly once my brain stops hitting itself. She had a migraine.
Oh, no.
The worst. Erin knows all about those.
Yeah, I do.
So that was all the way back in July. And I've not heard back from Diane.
That is quite a migraine.
Right. So I'm going to say this. Diane, I hope you're okay.
Are you okay?
Right. If not, reach out for help. Didn't hear back from her. Even sent a little hey, you want to send something in? Still didn't. So I'd still like to say, if you're out there listening, Diane, we just really hope your head is feeling better. You were always our fan favorite back in July. So we just wish you the best. And
yeah, if you have anything you want to come plug, back.
Yep.
If you have anything to plug, then come back and we'll just make that what we plug the next time.
That's right. There you go. So best of luck, Diane. Hopefully you're feeling better.
Okay, everybody. If you would like to check out our website, you can go to myskepticalsister.com where you can write in. You can find our P.O. box. You can find out how to become a Patreon. $3 a month gets you a sticker, a magnet, weekly bonus content, and $5 a month gets you all that, plus our movie night once a month, where we, watch a movie at the same time and we comment to you guys. We are talking, you guys are writing in. It's a blast. It's a lot of fun. You can also rate, review, subscribe wherever you listen to your podcast. You can follow us on YouTube now.
Yeah, you can.
You can write us in directly at myskepticalsister@gmail.com. And you can follow our socials on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And I think that about covers it.
I think you did it.
All right. So we love you guys. We'll talk to you next week.
Buen dia. La 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 la. I'm going to try to cough real big. Sorry, Rube.
Good for you. I'm going to try to cough real big.
I just meant I keep hearing this like rattle. I'm like, oh, get rid of that. I need a clear, crisp voice, and I'm not getting it in the morning.
Tip of the tongue.
Okay. Yeah, we'll just become bullies and liars. Boy, 40 for you is really taking a turn. 44 for me. I'm like, what? Who am I?
Oh, gosh.
Golly.
Oh, man. They use apparition